Zina almost died on a Tuesday afternoon, not from an accident, but because she wanted a smaller waist. When the doctors rushed into the room, they said one sentence she will never forget. If you came 24 hours later, you would not be alive. She thought she was investing in her future. She did not know she was gambling with her life. This is the story of how likes, pressure, and one decision nearly killed her. Let me tell you about Zina Bello. She lived in Lekki, Lagos. If you have ever been to Lekki, you will understand. It is a place where everybody looks like they are going somewhere important. Big houses, clean streets, bright restaurants, loud cars, dreams that feel bigger than the sky. Zina was a content creator. That was what she called herself. TikTok, Instagram, lifestyle videos, skincare routines, outfit transitions. Spend the day with me. Come to this event with me. Her phone was not just a phone, it was her office, her mirror, her judge. Every morning before brushing her teeth, before greeting her mother who lived in Surulere, before even saying thank you for waking up, she reached for her phone. Likes, views, comments. Sometimes she smiled. Most times her heart would sink quietly inside her chest. The numbers were not terrible, but they were not enough. Not in Lagos. Not in Lekki. Not in a world where girls her age were buying new cars from brand deals and traveling to Dubai because of sponsored posts. Zina would scroll through her feed and see girls with tiny waists, wide hips, and heavy backsides. They would wear fitted dresses, and the comments would be filled with fire emojis and admiration. Body goals. Queen. Perfect shape. Zina would stare at herself in the mirror after scrolling. She was slim. She was healthy. But she did not look like them. She would turn sideways, pull in her stomach, push out her hips, adjust her leggings. What am I missing? She would whisper to herself. The truth was, Zina did not always care about her body like this. When she was in secondary school, she was known for her bright smile and her confidence. She danced during inter-house sports, she acted in drama club, she laughed loudly and did not apologize for it. But social media can change the way you see yourself. It can take a normal mirror and turn it into a cruel one. Zina's best friend was Tommy. They met during NYC. They both dreamed of becoming big influencers. They would sit on Tommy's small bed in her apartment and plan their future. When we blow, we will not forget each other, Tommy used to say. They were the same struggles, same low views, same excitement when a small brand sent free lip gloss, but then Tommy changed. Tommy disappeared for 2 months. When she came back online, everything was different. Her waist was smaller, her hips were fuller, her pictures looked different, more confident, more bold. BBL. It was the word everywhere. At first, Zina pretended not to care. She commented fire emojis like everybody else. She congratulated Tommy when her followers started increasing quickly. Then one afternoon, they were on a video call. Tommy was glowing. Her makeup was perfect. She was smiling in a way that felt new. Another brand just paid me, Tommy said casually, flipping her hair. That's good, Zina replied, forcing her voice to stay steady. This body changed my life, Tommy added, laughing softly. Zina, you have no idea. Before, brands would ignore my emails. Now, they are the ones begging. Zina smiled. But inside her chest, something tightened. It was not just jealousy. It was fear. Fear that she was being left behind. That night, she lay on her bed, staring at the ceiling fan as it turned slowly. Her phone screen kept lighting up with notifications from Tommy's new video. More likes, more comments, more praise. One thought refused to leave her mind. What if this is what I need too? She tried to push it away. Zina, you are fine, she told herself. You just need to be consistent. But the thought stayed. It followed her into the morning. It sat with her while she brushed her teeth. It stood beside her while she filmed a skincare routine. What if this is the key? Zina did not tell her mother. She already knew what her mother would say. God created you the way you are. Why are you trying to improve what He made? She did not want that lecture. She did not want that disappointment. Instead, she told her cousin Sade. They were sitting in a small cafe in Lekki when she said it. I'm thinking of doing BBL. Sade's spoon stopped halfway to her mouth. BBL, she repeated slowly. Zina, please think. I have thought, Zina replied quickly. But the truth was, she had not thought deeply. She had only imagined the result, not the risk. She contacted a clinic she saw on Instagram. The page looked perfect. Before and after pictures, happy clients, bright white rooms, smiling doctors. Too perfect. She sent a message. They replied quickly. Very friendly, very professional. Your body is perfect for this procedure. That sentence alone made her heart race with excitement. She began to plan. She sold her small Toyota. She told people she wanted to upgrade later. She emptied her savings. She even borrowed money from a friend, saying it was for an investment. All for investment, she told herself again and again. The day she traveled for the surgery, she posted a picture at the airport. New chapter. People reacted with excitement. Congratulations. We are ready. Glow up. But as she sat in the plane, staring out the window, fear knocked softly on her heart. It was not loud, it was not dramatic, just a quiet whisper. Are you sure? She ignored it. She remembered something the clinic nurse had sent her in a voice note. Make sure you read all documents carefully before signing. It sounded simple, normal, but that sentence, she would later wish she had taken it more seriously. When Zina arrived at the clinic, everything looked exactly like the pictures. Cold air, bright lights, fast-talking doctors. They explained things quickly, medical terms she did not fully understand, risks that sounded small when they said them. Complications are rare. You are young and healthy. Everything will be fine. She nodded even when she did not understand everything. She signed papers without reading every line. That was her first big mistake. The surgery day came. She lay on the hospital bed wearing a thin gown, staring at the ceiling. For a moment, she almost stood up. For a moment, she almost said, I changed my mind. But she imagined Tommy's success. She imagined brand deals. She imagined people calling her body goals. And she stayed. When she woke up, pain welcomed her. Not small pain. Burning pain, heavy pain. It felt like her body was on fire from inside. She tried to move, but her back screamed in protest. This is normal, the nurse said gently. You will be fine. Days passed. Her shape started showing slowly under the bandages. Even through the pain, Zina smiled. It was worth it, she whispered to herself. She did not know then that the real danger had not even started, and that the life she thought she was building was already beginning to crack. When Zina returned to Nigeria, she felt like a new person. The pain was still there, but it had reduced a little. She wore special tight garments under her clothes. She walked slowly. She could not sit properly. But when she looked at herself in the mirror, she saw the shape she had been dreaming about. Her waist was smaller. Her hips were wider. Her backside was fuller. She filmed her reveal video 2 weeks later. The lighting was perfect. The music was soft and dramatic. She turned slowly in front of the camera and smiled. When she posted it, she threw her phone on the bed and covered her face with her hands. Within minutes, her phone started vibrating. Likes, shares, comments, thousands. By the next morning, the video had gone viral. Her followers increased rapidly. Brands began to send emails. Invitations to events started coming in. Zina felt like she was finally breathing fresh air after being underwater for too long. This is my season, she said to Sad over the phone. But while the likes were increasing online, something else was increasing inside her body. At first, it was just back pain. Not the normal pain from surgery. This one felt deeper. It felt heavy, like someone was pressing a hot iron against her lower back. She told herself it was part of healing. She continued filming. She forced herself to dance during a sponsored video. She smiled through the discomfort. One evening, while she was standing in front of the mirror adjusting her outfit, her legs suddenly felt weak. It was like they did not belong to her anymore. She grabbed the wall. It passed after a few seconds. She ignored it. 2 days later, she was recording a dance trend in her living room. The music was loud. She was laughing and trying to get the steps right. Then suddenly her vision blurred. Her legs gave way. She fell hard. Her phone hit the floor. For a moment she could not move. Her heart was beating so fast it scared her. "I'm fine," she whispered to herself, even though nobody was there. But that night, fear became louder. Her back felt hot. Too hot. When she touched it, she winced. The skin felt swollen. Her phone buzzed with a new message. It was from a girl named Amara. "I saw your reveal," the message said. "You went to that clinic too?" Zina's heart skipped. "Yes," she replied. There was a pause. Then Amara typed again. "I did BBL there too. I have infection. The clinic blocked me. Please tell me you are okay." Zina stared at the screen for a long time. Her fingers felt cold. She touched her back again. The next morning she tried to stand up from her bed and everything went black. When she opened her eyes, she was in a hospital. White walls, strong smell of medicine. Saad was sitting beside her, crying quietly. Doctors were talking in low voices. "Did you do surgery?" one of them asked gently. Zina kept quiet. Her throat felt tight. "Yes," Saad answered for her. The doctor nodded and held up a scan. "There is a serious infection," he said. "If she had waited longer, it could have spread to her blood." Sade started crying harder. Zina felt tears roll down her own face. "She is lucky," the doctor continued. "She almost traded her life for likes." Those words felt like a slap. Lucky. The news did not stay private. Somehow, bloggers found out. Maybe someone from the hospital talked. Maybe someone saw her. Headlines started appearing online. "Influencer hospitalized after BBL complications." She wanted perfection. Now she fights for her life. The comments were worse. She wanted attention. Why can't people love themselves? BBL is not for everybody. Zina scrolled and scrolled, even though every word felt like a knife. Then she saw one comment that made her drop her phone. At least her body was worth it, even if she dies. Her chest tightened. She began to cry loudly. Not the quiet tears she cried before. This was the kind of crying that shakes your whole body. For the first time, Zina felt completely alone. Not famous. Not admired. Just scared. Zina stayed in the hospital for weeks. The infection was serious. Doctors had to remove some of the fat that had been transferred during the surgery. They explained that some of it had not settled properly and had caused complications. Each time they wheeled her into the operating room, she felt small and helpless. She thought about her mother. She had still not told her the full truth. She told her she was just sick. One afternoon, as Zina lay in her hospital bed, her phone buzzed again. It was Tommy. "Hey babe, I heard what happened. Are you okay?" Zina stared at the message. For days, Tommy had not called. Not once. Now she was texting. "I'm in the hospital," Zina typed slowly. Tommy replied with a voice note. "I'm so sorry, Zina, but you know these things happen sometimes. You just need to stay positive. Don't let it ruin your brand. Your brand." Zina listened to the voice note again. Not let it ruin your brand. Was that what this was about? Brand? Not her life. Not her pain. Brand? Something inside her broke quietly. Later that evening, Sade came into the room looking angry. "You need to see this," she said, holding up her phone. It was a video Tommy had gone live. Zina watched as her best friend spoke to thousands of viewers. "Guys, please be careful where you do your surgery," Tommy was saying. "Some people rush into it because they want quick fame. Some people." Zina's stomach dropped. "She didn't even mention your name," Sade said angrily. "But everybody knows he's talking about you." The comments under Tommy's live were full of sympathy for her. "So glad you chose the right clinic. You are smart." Not everyone thinks before acting. Zina felt like the hospital room was spinning. Her best friend was using her pain as a lesson for her own audience, without calling her, without standing beside her. That night, Zina finally called her mother. Her voice trembled as she told her everything. The surgery, the infection, the risk. There was silence on the other end. Then her mother began to cry. "Zina," she said softly, "was my daughter not beautiful before?" That question hurt more than the surgery. Zina closed her eyes. "I thought I needed it," she whispered. "You needed peace," her mother replied, "not pain." That night, Zina made a decision, a hard one. She opened her Instagram and looked at her viral reveal video. Thousands of likes, thousands of comments, the video that started it all. Her finger hovered over the screen, then she deleted it. Just like that. People began to ask questions immediately. "Why did you delete it? Are you okay?" She did not respond. Instead, she opened her camera. No makeup, no filter, hospital gown, tears still fresh in her eyes. She pressed record. "I need to tell you the truth," she began. And for the first time since all of this started, she was not performing. She was just Zina. When Zina posted that video, she did not check her phone for hours. She was too tired, too drained. In the video, she told everything. How she felt pressured, how she compared herself to others, how she ignored fear, how she signed papers without reading, how the infection nearly took her life. She cried while speaking. She did not try to look strong. She did not try to look perfect. She just told the truth. When she finally opened her phone later that night, she was shocked. The comments were different, very different. Girls were sharing their own fears. Some said they were planning surgery, but changed their minds after watching her. Some said they had been hiding complications in silence. Some said thank you, real thank you, not the fake online kind. Even some mothers commented, "God saved you for a reason. You are brave." For the first time in a long time, Zina felt something warm in her chest. Not pride, not fame, purpose. But healing was not instant. When she was discharged from the hospital, her body looked different again, because doctors had removed some fat to stop the infection. Her shape was not the perfect hourglass she imagined. There were scars. There was unevenness. She avoided mirrors. She wore loose clothes. Sometimes at night, she would sit on her bed and cry quietly. She thought about the money she lost, the car she sold, the loans she still had to repay. She thought about the comment that said her body was worth it even if she died. Was it? Was any of this worth her life? One afternoon, her mother came to stay with her for a few days. They sat together in the living room. "Your body will heal," her mother said gently, "but your mind must heal too." Zina nodded. She realized something painful. She had not done the surgery because she hated her body. She had done it because she was afraid of being left behind, afraid of being invisible, afraid that she was not enough. That fear had almost destroyed her. Slowly, she started creating content again. But this time, it was different. She talked about self-worth, about pressure, about the lies social media can tell. Her followers grew again, but this time they stayed for her voice, not her waist. Invitations started coming again, but now they were for speaking, for sharing her experience. 1 year later, Zina stood on a stage in Lagos at a youth conference. The hall was full. Young girls sat in the front rows, listening carefully. "My body is not perfect," she said into the microphone, "but my story saved lives." She paused. Her voice shook slightly. "I almost died because I thought one decision could change my life forever." The room was silent. And it did. She continued softly. "Just not the way I expected." Zina is 25 now. When she looks at herself in the mirror, she still sees scars. But she also sees strength. She no longer checks her phone before brushing her teeth. She no longer measures her worth by numbers. She still creates content. She still laughs. She still dresses up. But now, when she posts, it comes from a place of peace, not pressure. Tommy and Zina are no longer close. That friendship did not survive the storm. And that hurt. But Zina learned something important. Not everyone who claps for you is standing with you. Some are just watching. Sometimes she still thinks about the day she signed those papers without reading, the day she ignored the small voice inside her. If she could go back, she would sit with that younger version of herself and say, "You are not behind. You are not missing anything. You are enough." She cannot change the past, but she can speak about it. And she does. Girls send her messages almost every week. "I was about to book surgery, but I watched your video. Thank you for being honest. You saved me." Each message reminds her that pain can have purpose, that mistakes can teach, that survival is a gift. Zina once believed that a better body would change her life forever. She was right. It did. It taught her that no amount of likes is worth your life. It taught her that beauty without peace is empty. It taught her that the most powerful glow-up is not in your waist or your hips, but in your mind. And sometimes the thing you think will save you is the same thing that almost destroys you.